Good afternoon. I'm Danny P. Smith. I'm the sports editor of Starkville Daily News. This is Digital Express for this week. Joining me, as he does often, is Joel Coleman, our beat writer for Mississippi State Sports. And Joel, you know, we've got a lot of sports taking place right now. Basketball is gearing towards March Madness, but baseball is on a lot of people's minds. And I know y'all had a conversation with Chris Lamonis just a few minutes ago before this taping, and was discussing the Oregon State series a little bit, big series, and it sounds like we're going to be without one of our guns on the weekend.
Yeah, and maybe beyond this weekend too. It's kind of to be determined at this point. But yeah, State's got Oregon State this weekend. It in the Oregon State of a couple years ago in the College World Series, you know, battling to get to the national final. I mean, it's a different Oregon State team from that point. It's not quite the just the utter powerhouse, I guess, that it was that year. But it's name brand school coming in. I mean, it's a big series, and you're right. JT Ginn will not play this weekend. He's battling what Chris Lamonis dubbed as arm soreness. Anytime you get a coach that's kind of, for now, labeling something as arm soreness and starts talking about doctors and seeing team doctors and going to hold him out and don't know anything beyond this weekend, and when you read between the lines, there's some concern.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and project or predict or whatever, but I mean, let's be honest here. The fear here is something, you know, UCL, Tommy John, season-ending type stuff. No one has said that, to be clear, at this point, but that is obviously what is on most fans and everybody's mind. No one to this point has said that,
right.
But there's obviously some concern there. All that said, a year ago, JT Ginn also dealt with some arm soreness and missed a weekend or so, or he was kind of hampered there for a little while and then came back. So I think that right now, might be best if for the concern to try and temper it just a little bit for now.
Right.
But I do think there is some concern here that it could be something serious. But we will find that out in the future. For now, which is all we kind of have to go on, is that there is some arm soreness that kind of started. He was gonna, I think JT was gonna do a bullpen on Tuesday, and just wasn't able to do it.
Yeah.
Chris said that after his start on Friday, in the season opener, that there was really no issue, nothing there, and it kind of cropped up around Tuesday. When it came time to his bullpen, he wasn't able to do it, and that's where they've kind of been sending him to team doctors and getting him checked out and things. And like we said, at this point, long-term, nothing has been said. We do know he won't pitch this weekend. We don't know for sure anything beyond that. What we do know is who's going to pitch this weekend, and Carlisle Kostler, a guy that is a grad transfer from southeastern Louisiana. Chris Lamonis said coming into this year he was going to be a swing guy for State. We saw him come in relief of JT Ginn on opening day.
He did a good job.
He had a good inning, and then he kind of got hit around a little bit in his second inning of work there. But he is a guy that he started in his career. He's relieved in his career. I think he was actually a Friday night guy for southeast Louisiana there for a little while. But he's a guy that can do a lot of different things for you, and he's going to start on Friday night. And then State Saturday, Sunday is going to stay the same. It's going to be Christian McLeod, who on Saturday, who, let's be honest, if something is wrong with JT Ginn long term, Christian McLeod may end up being your Friday night guy here before long. But for now, they're going to keep him on Saturday. Eric Sarantola will stay on Sunday as he was a week ago. And State's just going to go from there. Kostler actually was going to start the Tuesday night game against Samford that got rained out. So he was kind of, I guess, prepping for a start anyway. But he's kind of filling in that role that Lamonis said he might for the year, that he could be a swing guy, could start, could relieve. Well, he's going to start and for now try and fill in that void that is JT Ginn, at least for this coming weekend. But, yeah, it is a little bit, I guess the weather's damp, cool, kind of a clouds over Starkville. Well, there's a cloud over the Mississippi State pitching staff right now with JT Ginn, and you just have to cross your fingers and hope, not just as a fan, but just on a personal level for the kid. A guy that went in the first round of the Major League Draft a couple years ago, if he's healthy, would probably go even higher in the first round this year. You just hope for him long term that it's nothing that's going to affect his future too much and things. So, but we'll see on that. But right now, we know he's not going to pitch this weekend.
And for those that haven't heard, they have moved that Friday game time up to 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Because it's supposed to be cold weather, as the day progresses, and they don't want a lot of people out there in the sub-freezing temperatures watching baseball. So it was a good move last week. It'll probably be another good move this week. There may be other changes. I don't know with the weather might deteriorate as the
Did some
weekend
asking
goes on.
around about that. I kind of hesitate to say this because by the time this video goes up, who knows what will be decided.
Yeah.
But in some of my asking around on Thursday, it kind of seems like right now everything's going to stay on schedule the rest of the weekend. Kind of the way they're looking at the forecast right now is that they think they'll be able to keep everything on schedule and get everything in. Now, weather being what it is in Mississippi, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So
For sure.
who knows? But as we record right now, on Thursday afternoon, they kind of think everything will stay on schedule.
Yeah, of course, stay tuned to social media and everything to get your news, and we'll update you on that. But I hated about JT because I felt like him being healthy was going to be a key to what happens this season. And I knew his last year kind of concerned me with the problems he had last year that would not happen. Hopefully this will not be a long-term thing and that he will get back pretty quick. But we'll shift gears a little bit and talk a little about men's basketball because they've gotten a couple of really good wins, close wins, some against two tough teams that always bring tough physical games to the table. And last night you saw them beat South Carolina. Had to hold on at the end.
Yeah, it got a little squirrely there late.
They
for
found
sure.
a way to get it done at the hump.
Yeah, and right now that's what it's all about. I think I wrote for my game story, it was in the Thursday Starkville Daily, that come NCAA tournament time, it's about surviving and advancing. And the last two games for Mississippi State, that's exactly what they've done. They've survived and moved on to the next one, which means they keep staying on that tournament bubble. Joe Lenardi's latest bracketology that came out on Thursday still had State in the first four out in his NCAA tournament projections. Which basically means State still has work to do. But I think that going down the stretch, if they handle their business, I think they will get in. I'm no Joe Lenardi, but it just seems like they are on a trajectory right now, given what's left on the schedule, that if they handle their business, and I personally kind of think they probably have room for one somewhere. I think I could see them going on the road to South Carolina because they play Carolina again. If they lose that game or something, but win the rest, I think they'd be okay. They have a pretty big game coming up this Saturday at Texas A&M because Texas A&M is really dangerous in that they're 7-6 in the league, but yet their net ranking is, I think, at least before last night, before they beat Alabama, it was like in the 130s, I think. So it would be not that great of a loss to take if you went on the road and lost that game. I feel like State kind of needs that one. All this is so fluid, though, because there's other bubble teams, and what they do impacts what State does. Bottom line is, as Ben Howland talked about the other day, State just needs to win every game at this point. Right. They can afford one loss, maybe, but you don't want to take that chance. So right now, it's just every game is playoff time, tournament time, must win, and I think they realize that. It seems like the guys all realize that, and They have, down the stretch, I mean, Mississippi State, you have to remember, is a super talented team. I feel like down the stretch, they are possibly more talented than every team they play. Doesn't mean you're going to win all those games, but they have a chance to do what they need to do down the stretch to get in the tournament. And the old cliche, one game at a time, the next one's Texas A&M. And Abdullah Dew said last night, next game of the year is the biggest game of the year. And he's right. State needs to go on the road to College Station and take care of business on Saturday.
Well, true. Of course, Mississippi State men and women are looking toward postseason. We have high schools that are currently in postseason. We got Starkville High School on Saturday night hosting Clinton in the first round. They actually got a bye to get to Saturday, so they'll do that. The Starkville High girls will be on the road Friday night at 6. Starkville High's the boys are at 6 as well. East Webster girls are at Coleman County in the two-way playoffs. And Oak Hill Academy boys, they're still playing. They're playing in the state tournament in their classification. They'll play Friday night, I believe is a game Friday night. So they're still playing. They've had a good season. So we still have some high schools with state championship aspirations that can get there and get that done. So good luck to those teams, and we'll let you know how those go. So thank you for joining us, and this has been the Digital Express for this week, and we'll see you next time.